Find your way onto your mat and come into a comfortable cross-legged seat. Feel free to place a block or a bolster underneath you if that's more comfortable. Take a moment to sit tall through the crown of your head. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Imagine that you're going to stack your vertebra. Start to become aware of your breath as you breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Maybe you take a moment here to set an intention for your practice. Whatever you choose, I encourage you to stay conscious of your breath as you flow. Stay connected to your breath and your body, and remember that the next few minutes on your mat are just for you. When you're ready, drop the chin to the chest, and then slowly rock the head to the right, bringing right ear to right shoulder. Drop back through center, chin to chest, and over to the left, left ear to left shoulder. Come back through center, moving at your own pace, going side to side, making half circles with your neck. Go slower than you want to go here. Just take note of any spots of tension that you might be holding on to. When you're ready, bring the chin back to the chest and lift the head back up to neutral. Moving down to the shoulders, start to circle them backwards. Really squeeze your shoulders up by your ears. Pinch your shoulder blades as you bring them back. And then down and around. So being really slow, really intentional with these circles. Again, just taking note without judgment of any tension, any sticky spots that you might have. When you're ready, reverse and make some big circles forward. So waking up the neck, waking up the shoulders. When you've had enough, roll forward over the knees, find your way into table. Maybe you take a second here to find a little organic movement, a quick cat and cow, a little shake of the tail side to side, whatever it is. And when you've settled in, root through your left hand. On an inhale, reach the right arm up to the sky, looking at the fingers. And exhale, thread the needle, hips stay high, right temple comes down to the mat. So again, waking up the shoulders here. Hips are high. Try to imagine that your hips will stack over your knee here. On your next inhale, push through your left hand and re-extend your right arm back up to the sky. Exhale, both hands root, come back to table. Inhale, root through your right hand, left arm reaches up. On an exhale, thread the needle. Left arm reaches underneath the right, left temple comes down to the ground. Again, hips stay high. Being really gentle as we continue to wake up the body. Root through the right hand, and on an inhale, re-extend the left arm up to the sky, and then exhale back to table. From here, bring the big toes together, tops of the feet stay on the mat. Sink the hips back, reach the arms forward, coming into child's pose. Option here to take the knees a little bit wider, getting into the hips, or maybe you keep them a little bit closer together, sending breath into the low back. Wherever you are, check in with your breath, breathing space into the back of the ribs, into the hips. Gaze forward at the fingertips and start to walk the fingers forward, lifting the hips up. So crawling forward into puppy pose here. Maybe you tent the fingers to get a little bit more space, but gaze is forward, hips are high, hips stay stacked over the knees, as we imagine sinking the armpits down to the mat. So once again, opening up the shoulders, getting into the chest here. When you've had enough, slither forward, coming all the way onto your stomach. Bring your hands next to your ribs. Tuck the toes, get firm through the legs, firm through the core. Push up, high plank. From here, send the hips up and back and find your first down dog. First one of the day here, so feel free to take a moment to pedal out the feet, shake your hips, settle in, really get a good foundation, grounding down through the fingers. And when you're ready, come back to stillness. Gaze forward, rise up onto the balls of the feet, lifting the heels. Take tiny tiptoes to the front of your mat, coming into forward fold. Take a moment here to feel gravity, bend the knees as much as you need. And then on your next inhale, rise up halfway, flat back, fingertips to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms overhead, upward salute. Inhale, grow tall through the crown of the head. And on your exhale, bend the elbows, lean back, gaze up, cactus the arms. Finding a gentle opening through the chest here. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, lead with the heart, forward fold. On your inhale, halfway lift, flat back, fingertips to shins. Exhale to fold, plant the hands. Step back to high plank. Elbows stay tucked in, shoulders go forward, lower all the way down to your stomach. From here, use your back body strength to peel the head and shoulders and maybe the first rib up off the mat, coming into cobra pose. Maybe the hands float or hover off the mat. Take a full breath here. And on your next exhale, lower down. From here, spread the fingers, tuck the toes, get firm through the legs, strong through the core. Push all the way up, high plank. Send the hips up and back, returning to down dog. Take a moment to clarify your foundation. And when you're ready, gaze forward, rise up onto the toes. Take tiny steps to the front of your mat, find forward fold. On an inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, release the arms down by the sides. Option here to interlace the fingers behind the back, clasping the hands, or maybe you grab opposite elbows. Whichever feels better for you. Inhale as you grow tall through the crown of your head. And exhale, lean back, gaze up. Really find an opening through the chest here. If your hands are clasped, imagine drawing them down away from your shoulders. Inhale, come back up to center, release the hands, take a moment to shake it out. Then root through the right foot. Step back with your left foot coming into warrior one. So feet should be like they're on train tracks. So not one directly in front of the other. Right foot is a little bit out to the side from the left. Back foot turns out slightly, hips are square. Once again, clasp your hands behind your back, this time going the way that feels weird. Or again, maybe you find opposite elbows. You have the option to stay right here for a few breaths, or maybe you start to fold forward, bringing your chest to the inside of your front thigh, coming into humble warrior. If your hands are clasped, imagine lifting them away from your back body, intensifying the stretch in the chest and in the shoulders. Slowly rise back up, unclasp the hands, and step forward, coming back into mountain pose. On an inhale, reach the arms up overhead, and on your exhale, lead with your heart, forward fold. Plant the hands, step back through high plank. This time option for a vinyasa, lowering halfway down, chaturanga, straightening the arms coming onto the tops of the feet for up dog, and then rolling over the toes, sending the hips high for down dog. So that's your vinyasa. Know that at any point you have the option to move right into down dog, take a break in child's pose. Remember that this is your time, so do what works best for your body today. When you're ready, gaze forward, lift the heels. This time, step, hop, or float to the top of your mat, forward fold. On an inhale, rise up halfway, flat back. And exhale to fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, arms overhead, upward salute. Exhale, arms down by your side. Option to clasp the hands or maybe find opposite elbows. Inhale, grow tall, and on your exhale, find a gentle lean back, gaze up. Release the arms, come back through center. This time, root through the right foot as you root through your left foot as you step your right foot back, finding warrior one. Again, take a moment to clarify your foundation. Hips are squared forward, back foot at a 45-degree angle, front toes are straight ahead. Draw the ribs in, stay strong through the core. Option to interlace the fingers the way that feels weird, or once again, reach for opposite elbows. Feel free to stay here, or maybe take that forward fold, bringing the chest to the inside of the front leg, coming into humble warrior. Slowly rise back up to center. Release the hands, step forward, both feet next to each other, coming into mountain pose. On your inhale, reach the arms overhead, and on your exhale, forward fold. Plant the hands, step back through high plank. Option to take a vinyasa, and we'll meet in down dog. On your next inhale, reach your right heel high. Exhale, step forward in between your hands. Drop the back knee down to the mat, and on your inhale, reach the arms up overhead, low crescent lunge. Inhale, grow tall, sink into your hips, and on your exhale, cactus the arms, gaze up. Elbows bend, mini back bend here. Inhale back up through center, and exhale, hands to either side of your front foot. Root through your left hand. Inhale the right arm up to the ceiling. You have the option to stay right here, or maybe that right hand continues to swim backwards and around, reaching for the left hip. So finding a little bit deeper opening through the front body, a little bit deeper twist, or maybe not. When you've had enough, bring both hands back to the mat, coming to center. Straighten the back leg, and then root through your right foot as you step forward to find forward fold. Maybe you place the hands on blocks here. Again, feel free to bend the knees as much as you need. Begin to heel toe your feet to the edges of your mat. Toes point out. When you arrive, drop the hips low, finding your way into Malasana, yogi squat. So maybe the hands stay on the ground here. Maybe you bring them together at heart center. And maybe you take the elbows to the insides of the knees, finding a little bit of intensity as you push the knees out to the side. Take a full breath here. Bring the hands to the floor. Re-extend your legs, hips up. Then root through the hands. Step back through high plank. Option for your vinyasa. And we'll meet in down dog. When you arrive, take 2 full breaths. On your next inhale, lift the left heel high to the sky. Exhale, step forward in between the hands. Back knee drops down to the mat. Inhale, reach the arms up, coming into low crescent lunge. On your next exhale, mini back bend, gaze up, cactus the arms, open the heart. Inhale back through center, and exhale both hands down to the mat, framing your front foot. This time, root through your right hand. Inhale to extend the left arm up to the sky. Option to stay here or swim the left hand back and around. Back of the left hand reaches for the right hip. Slowly come out the way you came in. Bring both hands down to the mat, framing the front foot. Straighten out the back leg and step forward to find forward fold. Begin to heel toe the feet to the outside edges of the mat. Toes turn out. When you arrive, drop your hips, finding your way into Malasana. You have the option to stay right where you are, or maybe you take a different variation. Bring the backs of the hands to the hips and the elbows to the inside of the knees. So getting a little bit more of a shoulder stretch here. Some internal rotation of the shoulders. And be really gentle here. This can be a intense pose. Send breath to the spaces that feel sticky. And only when you've had enough, slowly unwind. Bring the hands to the mat. Lift the hips high. Step back through your high plank and move your way, meeting in down dog. When you arrive, drop the knees down. Keep them close together and send the hips back, coming into child's pose. Reach the arms straight out in front. Maybe you ground through the fingertips, getting a little bit of traction, stretching out the lats. Feeling a stretch in the armpits and the side of your back. Option to stay here. Or reach the arms behind to grab the heels And then keeping the forehead on the mat, start to lift your hips off of your heels. So coming into rabbit pose here, feeling a really good opening through the shoulder blades. So as you lift your hips, hold your heels, imagine your shoulder blades are going to move away from each other, rounding the back, separating the shoulder blades, getting a really nice stretch through the upper back. Drop the hips back down. Maybe take another moment in child's pose. Find whatever organic movement you need. And then when you're ready, slowly walk your hands up, coming into a sit. And then swing the legs around to either side and find your way back to a cross-legged seat. Again, maybe you place a block or a bolster underneath you if that makes it more comfortable. And when you arrive, inhale the arms out to the side. And on your exhale, cross left arm underneath right, coming into eagle arms. So right elbow stacks on top of the left. Maybe you bring the backs of the hands together. Maybe you grab the thumb, or maybe palms come together. Wherever you are, continue to draw your shoulders down away from your ears. And then maybe you find a little lift with your elbows. Again, getting a stretch through the shoulders, really feeling the shoulder blades separate. Feeling some sensation in the upper back. On your next exhale, unwind. Inhale the arms back out to the sides. And then exhale, reverse. This time, left elbow crosses on top of right. No worries if your palms don't meet. Again, maybe you bring backs of the hands together, grab the thumb, whatever works for you. But really actively bring the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe bringing the elbows up and out in front of you to intensify the stretch. Remembering to breathe, staying conscious of our breath, staying in control of our breath. When you've had enough, release the pose. Take a moment to shake out the arms. If your body is craving any other seated poses, feel free to take those now. And then if you have a block underneath you, just place that to the side and find your way onto your back. Moving into supine spinal twist, take a moment to hug both knees into the chest. Maybe you take a few rock and rolls here if that feels good for you. Maybe a quick happy baby. And then hug the right knee into the chest as you extend the left leg straight out to the mat. Bring the right arm out to the side. Option to cactus the arm. And then using your left hand, bring the right knee up and across the body. So coming into our spinal twist, gaze off to the right. With each exhale, imagining that our right shoulder will melt down into the mat. Sinking a little deeper into the pose with each exhale. Really just letting it go. When you've had enough, come back to center. Once again, hug both knees into the chest. This time, hold the left knee as you extend the right leg straight out to the mat. Left arm extends out to the side. Option to bend the elbow, cactus the arm. Using the right hand, take your left knee up and across your body. Gaze over to the left, coming into your twist. Again, imagine your left shoulder melting into the mat. Breathing space, breathing ease into this pose. And really letting gravity help you here as you just let go. When you've had enough, come back through center. Give both knees one more hug into your chest, and then extend the arms, extend the legs, and find your way into Shavasana. Really give into gravity. Let go of your conscious breath. Relax the space between your brows. Try to stay here for about 5 minutes. Wherever you go when you step off of your mat today, try to do it with an open heart and an open mind. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Namaste.